What's up, guys? So we are looking at the photography triangle. That way we can learn how to take better photos. This is a beginner-friendly guide to learning what your settings do. Now, what we have here is an overexposed image. Basically, too much light is hitting the sensor, so everything's coming out a blank white. Right now, we're going to adjust things one by one to make it perfect. So first, we're going to start with the shutter speed. Every camera has a dial, typically at the top of the camera where my finger is pointing right now, and it'll also appear down here at the bottom. Now we're going to adjust that until things look great. Things look better, but not so great, but let's take a picture. All right. So the shutter speed is how fast the curtain comes down. If you're doing something with a lot of motion, such as sports or skating or something that people are moving fast, you want that shutter to be as fast as possible. But taking everyday pictures, you don't need it this fast. Now, let's adjust something else. So first, let's bring the shutter back down to where we had it at, which was 400. Now from here, let's gonna adjust the ISO. Let's see what that does for us. Now, every different camera and camera brand has a different way to change it. Some you have to touch it and change it. Some you have your own little knob. On Canon brand, their cameras have a little dial on the lens. So let's go ahead and bring it down. So bringing it down all the way to 100 and bam. Now, that didn't do as well as our first picture, but you can see we're moving one component. This is kind of what we get. Now, let's dial that dial right back up to where we were, which was 1,000. Now let's look at the aperture. The aperture is basically how much is in depth and in focus. So right now we're at a wide aperture of 1.8. Now let's go ahead and close it down. Right now I'm in an aperture of f20. That means everything will be in frame. Now, this will and will not work for some people because some people don't want everything from here all the way across the street in frame. So now, let's find a perfect balance. First, let's bring this aperture back down to where we had it at first, 1.8. Now, I personally only really want a tree in focus. So let's turn to it. Now let's start adjusting. First, I'm going to bring the ISO down to 100. All of a sudden, now we can see this tree. Now, it's not a moving subject. So I'm going to adjust this down to 160. But I'm okay with getting things around the tree in focus as well. So let's bring this aperture up, 4.5. Let's go a little deeper, right there. And for that part of the triangle, now I have it the way I want it. So let's come around. Oh, this is not sponsored by Aldi's. However, their bags are great carrying things. Now we are going to adjust this. Same kind of picture, different settings. I moved my shutter up to 1,000. My aperture is at 2.8, and my ISO is still at 100.